Treat as we bring you NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan to call the game with our analysts Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And now the opening lineup. For Detroit, Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. The big men, Tolliver and Drummond. And it's Morris in the small forward.
And the Pistons were a better team last season than they were in 2014. I mean, they still ended up bottom in the Central Division, but most of it was because of how strong the Central really was last season.
And it's Drummond with the jam.
Fellas, that two-hand monster slam was vicious.
I don't think there was anyone, and I mean anyone, that could have stopped him on that one.
I tell you what, I'm glad they didn't try, because somebody might have got their feelings hurt.
In the corner, Smith with it. James, it's his first trip to the line.
That's his first personal foul.
That one is off.
Shooting for Cleveland.
And listen, Cleveland were the favorites to win the Central Division last season. High expectations given they finished third in the Central in 2014. But that's just what adding LeBron can do for a team.
Knocked loose and stolen by Drummond. Feeds to Morris. And Detroit again with the bucket.
Oof, that is a tough shot.
Detroit on D. Cleveland did win the Central, as you alluded to. Won 11 in-division games against what was a very tough division.
No easy opponents in that Central Division last year. 3 teams in the playoffs, and 1 was knocking on the door. The Cavs did what they needed to do to bring home the banner.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
Old school D right there, just telling them no easy layups. It's as simple as that. And that's what you expect from them. You know, the Cavs last season won a bunch of games, but they had to fight for a lot of them. They often would fall behind early or dig a big hole and have to fight their way out of it.
From deep. And again, it's the Pistons missing. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
High post try. Jackson misses. You mentioned, GA, the Cavs and their comebacks. They actually overcame double-digit deficits for 13 of their 53 wins last year.
Yeah, and Kevin, I remember their biggest one being a comeback after being down 17 points. I mean, but when you have the star power that the Cavs have, no comeback is out of the question. You're just never safe against this team. How about the head of steam he's able to generate right there and just gets to the rack really easy.
They set the pick. To the paint. He's looking for Drummond and finds him.
The one-hand slam is so sweet when it's his hand doing the slam.
Oh, yeah, he is so smooth, even on a power finish like that.
And really, that's what makes him unique, that combination of power and polish.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Cavaliers.
You know, I think he just wants to tinker with the game plan a little bit. And I think that's a wise timeout.
And part of it, too, Greg, was he saw some things going on out there that he didn't care for.
Mozgov, he's checked in for Cleveland. Mon Shumpert is coming for Smith. Detroit also making some changes. Harris is checked in for Tolliver. Johnson comes in for Morris. And it's Jody Meeks in for Caldwell Pope. Johnson kicks to Drummond.
And a sharp pass to set up that high percentage shot in close.
Inside. And he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
Good, just like soup. A little more ferocious, though.
Okay, Clark approves, everybody.
Yeah, but that's how you finish strong. Young fella's wearing the rim out.
And there's a whistle. It goes on Iman Shumpert. That's his first foul.
Yeah, clearly he hadn't established position there.
Yeah, and I like this call because you want the refs in that situation. If there's any doubt, err on the side of giving the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player. That should have been a block, and it was.
And, guys, what do you think about the hustle stance for Cleveland?
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
You know, another factor in their offense so far has been their ability to convert and score off turnovers.
Knocked away. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Irving.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Here's Jackson. A second chance effort. That's good. And that's 12 points here for Drummond.
His hard work on the backboard really just has given them more opportunities to score.
James. That one is good. He's only missed one shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
As hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan is simple, folks. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Johnson attacking. Mozgov with the block. And they're able to recover. Meeks, good.
Well, if you like offense, that's what you're getting here early on.
This has a little bit of playground feel to it, fellas. I mean, forget about defending. Just outscore the other team. Let it.
And a good game so far as we conclude the first quarter. Cavaliers on top. They lead by 3. We'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. And we welcome you back to the NBA here on 2K Sports. And we're ready to get going once more. And the players having a chance to have a short break and get some rest themselves and get refueled and hydrated with some Gatorade. More terrific basketball in store for us tonight. What stands out to you from the Cavaliers in this one?
Really active hands early on here as they're able to acquire several steals.
Well, they've really been aggressive guys on defense, and it's paid off, so why stop? Keep it up.
Smith is out there with Channing Frye. Then it's Matthew Dellavedova. Then there's Iman Shumpert. And it's Mozgov in at the 5, home in the paint. That's the group for Cleveland going right now here in the second. They might be named after a car part, but the Pistons had a rough go of things on the road. They just couldn't use it. They just couldn't stay consistent away from home.
They couldn't. Only won 14 road games, and that number is not enough to get you to the playoffs.
Knocked away. That's out of bounds to the Cavaliers as Cleveland retains possession. We play just over. Here's Dellavedova, guarded by Jackson. Just 4 to shoot. No good from Frye.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
You can see how much the defense respects him. I mean, they were all over him on that look.
And that one's good, Shumpert.
They're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results right now.
You're right. 3 of their last 5 makes are from behind the arc.
Mozgov with the block. Smith dishes to Frye. It's tipped. Here's Dellavedova, covered by Morris. In the corner, Smith with it. And the shot is long.
Boy, there was no hand in his face right there. I thought for sure he was going to knock that down.
That shot by Caldwell Pope, no good. And the Cavaliers call time here. Just a bit of an up and down year for the Pistons last season. Had some long winning streaks and some long losing streaks for first-year head coach Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah, Kevin, some would say it was addition by subtraction because they really went on that big run after they released Josh Smith. 7 straight wins for them at one point, and they also did have some giant lows.
And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Mozgov. Love comes in for Channing Frye. LeBron's checked in for Shumpert. And Kyrie Irving subbed in for Matthew Dellavedova. Detroit also making some changes. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Drummond. Tobias Harris comes in for Anthony Tolliver. And it's Johnson in for Marcus Morris. And now the first timeout called here for Detroit.
And, you know, those giant lulls were a big part of the Pistons season. I mean, their biggest losing streak was 13 straight losses, and a lot of that you attribute to their defense.
Pistons trailed by 11. Caldwell Pope passes to Baines. To the inside. Shot to stop the run. Detroit, no good that time either.
And the Pistons also went into a slump after they traded for Reggie Jackson. 1-9 after the trade deadline. They would end the season on a better note, but truly they were streaky last season.
Caldwell Pope kicks to Baines. Pass to Caldwell Pope. Good on the three-point shot.
I'm not sure that was the play they had set up, but it was too good a look to pass up.
Out to Smith. Fires the three. LeBron outside. .131 left in the first half. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. Well, you go back last season, the Cavs had a very slow start to the year. Not surprising. They had a lot of new faces and people they were bringing together. Clark, it didn't look like the powerhouse they would end up being as a result.
Well, you know, they were kind of fumbling and bumbling around in the 5th and 6th spots in the East for the first half of the season. Made some changes, though, through trade, and that got them going, I think.
Here's Caldwell Pope, covered by Smith. Johnson dishes to Baines. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
You know, he might be small for a center, but it doesn't really matter because he can jump out of the building.
And those midseason trades for the Cavs really turned things around. Mozgov came in, J.R. Smith and Shumpert secured that 2 spot, gave this team an incredible edge defensively.
That shot by Caldwell Pope, no good.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
Dishes to Love. James, the pass to Thompson. And James gets it to go on the assist by Thompson. 19 points for LeBron.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead. I'll tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Mark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out, almost like the 1-2 punch.
And Johnson drops them both. There's 14 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Good on the shot.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen. Don't take your eyes off of him because he can make plays from multiple spots on the floor. Put the isolated cam on him. That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting it.
And we've reached halftime in this one. Cavaliers lead by 7. And we'll be back right after halftime for the start of the third quarter. We'll see you in a bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Cavaliers.
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. What can you say, LeBron James? What an impressive effort today.
Yeah, he was in attack mode from the word go. Came out very aggressively in that first half.
Take a look at his shot chart. It looks like the ink spilled right at the rim. No reason for him to settle for anything less.
And the second half about to start here in just a few moments. What can you say, LeBron James? What an impressive effort today.
You know, and as effective as he was at slashing to the hoop in that first half, even better at finishing once he got there.
Guys, we saw some amazing dunks from him. I can't imagine he'll be able to top those in these last 2 quarters, but I'd love to see him try.
And Detroit looking at who they've got. The big men, Tolliver and Drummond. Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. And it's Morris in the 3 spot.
Yeah, the Pistons ended last season with a record of 32-50. They've played decently enough against the rest of the East and had 23 of their 32 wins against the Eastern Conference.
It's Jackson with the drive. Smith kicks to LeBron. And he stuffs it. What a pass to set him up.
And that's his MO. Sometimes he can score more points by himself than the rest of the team.
Now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful two-hand jam. You're right.
And I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will start shrinking even further.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah, and when he's got a lead like that, why not take a few chances? A lot more engaging and entertaining than just doing the old ho-hum one-hander.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. Look at LeBron James. He's really been playing well.
He's been attacking the rim with reckless abandon. They're searching for answers. Some way they got to figure out how to contain it.
And the Pistons making a change here. Harris is checked in. Pistons trailed by 12. It's Jackson with the drive. Shot is no good.
Boy, I tell you what, the complexion of this game would be completely different if he'd shot the ball anything like he's capable of.
And it's just one of those days, guys. He has just struggled to shoot the basketball.
Morris with the bucket.
Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA.
And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. That one on Love. Well, with Coach Stan Van Gundy, it was a very successful first year in Detroit. He's a guy who's going to build around defense. That's been his MO.
And Van Gundy has always been a defensive first type guy, Kevin. I mean, the last 30 years he's has probably the best defensive efficiency for a career as a coach, and his teams always play with great emphasis on that side of the ball.
Morris into the lane. Oh, that's blocked. Irving with the ball. Picked up by Harris. Morris dishes to Jackson. And he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra. Boy, guys, they've shown some great passing on their last few trips down the floor. Excellent.
4 straight passes leading to scores. Great team play.
That's really the area where they like all of their shots to come from.
And he is the ultimate when it comes to being a floor leader on the offensive end.
Yeah, you know, he's got a little bit of Greg Anthony in it. And he has been that leader today. I think he's done a really nice job of moving the ball and distributing it the way it needs to be done.
Well, Clark, I'm glad you referenced specifically why you thought he had a little Greg Anthony. I thought you were talking about the knees, my man. He looked a little hobbled out there for a moment.
And stolen by Drummond. And here we go. And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That's foul number 2 for him.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. I mean, the defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
Catching up on the changes for Cleveland. Shumpert is checked in for Smith. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Kyrie Irving. Prime. It's hauled in by Harris.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Baines passes to Drummond. That's good.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
That's exactly how it should be done. Get the bump, concentrate on the shot, and you'll get the bucket too.
Cavs were poised to make a huge run last year in the playoffs. Swept the Celtics in the first round, but it cost them.
Yeah, and even though they did get that sweep, they lose Kevin Love for the rest of the way, and that put a big hurdle in their quest for the title.
No denying it, injuries were a big part of the storyline in the Cavs postseason. Fortunately, LeBron James was otherworldly after the first round. Took care of the Bulls, then went on to sweep the Hawks to get back to the finals.
Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Cleveland. LeBron with the buckets.
And he's finally getting the feel from beyond. His second 3 of the half right there.
Harris kicks to Johnson. Baines. And a rebound goes to the Cavaliers.
And for the Cavs last season, their toughest test would be in the finals against the Warriors. Like every other team, they just couldn't handle the Warriors for a full series. A great run to the finals, and surely they'll want to return there this season. Wow, that's a really smooth finish.
That's why we and they always love seeing him at the end of those breaks. He makes it look fun and easy.
The Cavaliers shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
And 75% on the season as a unit from the free throw line.
And guys, you know what? That's made things hard for them in a lot of their games. I mean, that inability to convert their chances at the free throw line.
And Cleveland making a change here. Love's checked in. Caldwell Pope, he's checked in for Detroit. The Cavaliers leading by 10. Dellavedova kicks to James. Here's Shumpert. The rebound by Johnson.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
Here's Tolliver. No good off the front iron. And the Cavaliers call time here.
Yeah, I think he just sees some things that can be improved and wants to get everybody back on the same page.
And usually that, to me, is a good use of the timeout. I mean, if there's something that he's noticed that can give his team a lift. I think he's got.
And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Cavaliers ahead, up by 10. And right after this will bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports. And the the final period of play just about to start. Kevin Love out there with Tristan Thompson. Then it's Smith. Then it's Kyrie Irving. And it's Dellavedova in the shooting guard position. So that's who's on the floor for the Cavaliers. Irving drives in. That's in there. Love with the assist. And it's 7 points for Kyrie Irving.
He hasn't really done much on the offensive end, but he's worked within the team concept to help them get the lead. He's done some other things other than scoring to help his team get the lead here.
And here we go. Good on that shot, and with that, the Cavalier lead is cut down now to just 6 points with that basket from Jackson. Cleveland's gone past the three-point line for 13 of their shots. They're 6 of 13. Irving with the ball. Guarded now by Jackson. Smith missing again.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
And the foul called on Marcus Morris. That'll be his second foul of the game. James checked it.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right.
I tell you what, I used to love to go up and jam like that. Just a good, solid, aggressive finish there on the break.
Not going to get much easier than that, Greg. Simple.
Look at LeBron James. He's really been playing well.
He just continues to light them up. They're going to have to find a way to make him work harder for his point.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
In the break, guys, I listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. He talked mainly about giving them a different look defensively and dropping more bodies into the paint, saying, listen, they're eating us up on the inside, and we need to do whatever it takes to stop it. Guys, back to you.
All right, Doris, thanks.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
5 straight baskets, Greg, resulting from assists. They're playing as one unit out there.
And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Irving.
Oh, nice play there to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
Just a whisker away from coming up with the steal there.
The drive by Jackson. And stolen by Kyrie Irving. Here's Smith. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. Irving's got his 8th assist in the game. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for the Cavaliers.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And I'd also love what they've done defensively in terms of closing out to the shooters, getting a hand up, just making them feel a little uncomfortable on the offensive end.
How about that? Take a peek at that move. We don't get to see plays like that very often.
No, we don't. You're right. Sailing in off the baseline for the reverse stuff.
And as special as they come, guys, that was primo in terms of dunks.
There's the dish to Harris. Wants to get it to Morris and does. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
James checked in for Cleveland. Good on the second free throw. The Cavaliers leading by 9. From the rim rattler.
Just a remarkable jam. These fans' jaws are on the ground right now.
That's straight up Showtime stuff right there, baby. Major highlight reel material.
No good. Some solid defense there from Irving.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole, because he is just not fair offensively. Strong work for him at the offensive end, helping them to maintain that lead.
Jackson kicks to Drummond. Good D by Thompson. LeBron outside. And it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope with the foul. That's his first foul. Irving double team. Down low. Smith. Morris with the block.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Cavaliers.
You know, Clark, when you shoot this well from three-point range, you're really hard to stop. The defense didn't rotate out fast enough to stop the hot shooters.
Well, you said it all there, Kevin. They were lethal from behind the arc.
I mean, when you look at the stats, you'll see just how dominant a game this was for LeBron James. Just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do much to keep him from dropping it in.
Irving drives in. Trying to find Mozgov. Gets it to him.
No hesitation at all on that alley-oop. Saw his teammate with the path to the hoop, and bang! Lobbed it right up there for him.
And he was ready for it, elevated, made the catch. You saw the result.
And you know what, though? I like the fact that he still chose that conservative finish there, just making sure he got the deuce.
Matthew Dellavedova has checked in for Irving. And a different look here for the Pistons. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. Johnson comes in for Morris. Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And Steve Blake is subbed in for Jackson. And finished off by LeBron.
And that's just a little more for these fans to cheer about as they get ready to celebrate a W.
Well, let the party start. The celebration begins, and they're going to let their guys hear it.
That free throw, no good. And a different look here for the Pistons. Drummond checked in for Aaron Baines. Marcus Morris comes in for Johnson. Caldwell-Pope, he's checked in for Meeks. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Steve Blake. Morris kicks to Drummond. And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
And they're on the kind of run that could have made a difference had it just started a little earlier.
Yeah, but I think the only reason they're on this run is because the defense has relaxed a little bit, knowing the game is basically in the bag.
Blocking foul called on Timofey Mozgov. That's his first personal foul. Second team foul.
30 seconds left in the fourth. A costly foul there. He'll shoot 3 free throws.
That's his first personal foul.
And they double up James. On the wing, James. Shumpert in the corner. Another 3 for Cleveland.
This is a serious game-clinching run they're on.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just not backing off here. I mean, they're looking to close this one out in style. What a time to have this kind of surge.
So we see the Cavaliers taking the win here. They poured it out tonight, Clark. A dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
I don't think they have anything but positives to take away from this win. Offensively, defensively, every aspect of the game, it all went right for them.
Well, folks, that's good.
HBK, yeah, you know how we. And I can't quit, all I know is HBK, yeah, you know how we. And I can't quit, all I know is wherever I go, my homies come to. I love my squad. We up in this thing, love with it. I love my squad. I love my squad. I love my squad. I love my squad. Make your lady back up in this, hop up in the 6, and you should ignore these rappers, man. They say anything. Call me Susie Piggy Bank. I got plenty change. She rep HBK over everything. Married to the game with the wedding rag. Everybody try to duplicate. We just innovate. Young and making plenty cake. Get my straight. I'm a heartbreak vet. Being broke, what I can't accept. I'ma hold it down to the death. No Reeboks, cause it's all about a check. Bet $1 million that your man ain't like this. Cause I stack my chips, I'm on my grind. Mind on money, money on my mind. So if you in the way, I'll run you over. It's the I'm a soldier. Huh? Wherever I go, my homies come to. I love my squad. We up in this thing. I love my squad. I love my squad. I love my squad. I love my squad. Ain't nothing changed with the name on the check. And that's real, that's real, that's real. I don't know about y'all, but I die about respect. And that's real, that's real, that's real. I'ma live in the meantime. Haters telling me to chill cause they need time. Rest in peace, it's the G8 and G. Hate on me cause we ain't leave the seat vacant. We taking the RAP game to a new place. I swear that we got this tied like a shoelace for real. Wherever I go, my homies come to. I love my squad. We up in this thing. I love my squad. I love my squad. I love my squad. I love my squad. Wherever I go, my homies come to. We up in this thing. Wherever I go, my homies come to. We up in this thing. Dynamic duo. Dynamic
동전한 입조차 쉽고 일 없어. 잠 못 들던 그때보다 조금은 일었어. 우리는 바보처럼 몸으로 부딪히면서 배웠어. 넘어질 때마다 일었어. 다시 고쳤었지. 이력서 눈부신 성공의 신바람. 잠시나마 불어봤던 휘파람. 한 곡도 퇴근하기 전에 그림자처럼 날 따라온 비바람. 시기 질투 기대 압박을 못 이긴 몇 번의 실축. 자만 나태함 속에 던졌던 말로 홈런을 맞는 실투. 다 끝. 난 갈아탔지만 우리 앞길을 막지만 하고 외치며 마음을 다잡곤 했었지. 진짜 한치 앞도 안 보이는 가시밭길에서도 절대 유턴 없이 잘 바라느리로 의지하면서 둘이 딱 붙어갔지. 비극 지금 기계 아프지만 지나가 보면 웃음 나오는 희극. 그래서 우린 지금을 참고 살아. 난 미쳤다 생각하면서 keep dreaming. 희망이란 끈 잡고 살아.
이 험한 현실에서 아직 붙잡아두고 싶은 꿈. 넘고 힘든 삶은 능선에서 때론 포기하고 싶은 꿈. 너와 천천히 오래 걷고 싶어 until the end of time. 지금 난 간절히 원해 한 조각의 peace of mind. 헤야오 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 헤야오. 이 도시에서 멍 때리는 것조차도 사치 버릇처럼 내가 나를 착취해. 경추 쪽은 딱딱해지고 의식에 붙은 각질. 모두 위맑은 땀 대신 날 적시는 건 진땀이네. 잠든 시간에도 문제들이 쌓여 눈 뜨자마자 결정해도 아직 익숙치 않은 타협. 시간을 도모 위에 식재료 썰듯 안 하면 하루는 순서가 뒤섞인 음식처럼 망가져. 지쳐도 경계하네 공허와 허무. 불안감 속에서 상기하네 15년 전 빈 털터리의 여유. 억울해도 납득돼 35년간의 필름이 어쩌면 수치 맞은 삶 건축된 우리의 이름이 길르니 어두워지지 않게 서로를 비판하고 세상을 보는 시선 삐딱하게. 얼굴에 피어난 주름은 당연해 마치 아파친 너 페이스. 평가는 다 끝난 다음에 핵인 인생의 레이스. 이 험한 현실에서 아직 붙잡아두고 싶은 꿈. 넘고 힘든 삶은 능선에서 때론 포기하고 싶은 꿈. 너와 천천히 오래 걷고
the 2K Sports pregame show.
Ernie Johnson welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm here with Shaq and the Jet. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Boston Celtics going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Well, for Minnesota, they're looking to come out strong and make their mark early. They have to look at this game as a great opportunity to do just that. And Andrew Wiggins from an athletic family. His father played in the NBA, his mother a world-class sprinter. You can see why they call the young Canadian Maple Jordan.
Oh, wow. That's a lofty praise for the young man. I've never heard that.
Jordan.
I never heard that, but he attacks the basket, well enough from the outside. He keeps the defenders off balance. He's developing faster than most expected, but he really has to work on his offensive game if he wants to be considered Maple Jordan.
You know, he has the ability to maple-tize anyone in the league. He finishes hard at the rim. Maple Jordan, I like that.
No, if it meets your approval, then we can run with it.
Pretty good.
Here's Kevin Harlan.
It's the Timberwolves, and they're doing business on the road. It's an interconference NBA matchup. It's getting noisy here in Boston. We're at the home of the Celtics. Welcome, everybody. Glad you decided to spend your Thursday night with us here at 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Tip-off goes to Minnesota. All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. On the court for Minnesota, the athletic duo of Levine and Wiggins on the perimeter. Youngsters Anthony Towns and Zhang are in the post. And it's Rubio in at point guard.
And guys, we've seen teams hire college coaches with no NBA experience before. It hasn't always worked out, but for Boston, they have to be very pleased with Brad Stevens.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves getting the first points of the ball game. And the slam dunk by Johnson.
Did not need two hands for that slam.
You know, he can save the other hand for the next time.
One will do just fine.
Yeah, but just to switch it up a little bit.
Here's Levine. Zhang with a screen on Bradley. Levine kicks to Zhang. Clock at 6. Zhang a screen. This one for 3. Rubio misses. And Brad Stevens now in his 3rd year coaching the Celtics. Greg, I know you admire him from afar. Good fit for the franchise. Good fit, Clark, for a young team.
Agree with you completely on all of that. He stresses team unity and selflessness and sets the example and tone with his demeanor.
Levine, good.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Outside Thomas. And in the first, a little over a minute and a half in. Good D by Rubio. Wiggins kicks to Rubio. Zhang with a screen on Sullinger. Here's Levine. His 3-pointers off the mark. The Celtics have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Thomas with the ball. Left side, Bradley. They get it again. And it's blocked. Wiggins against Thomas. And Zhang kicks to Towns. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Here's Levine. He has 5. All sorts of time. That's no good. And now he's missed 2 and made 2. And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played. And Thomas, here we go. Rebound collected by Levine.
Well, he won't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions there.
Now, here's Rubio. Kicks to Towns. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Timberwolves lead by 2. And we'll be back with you right after this. And off we go. A close game now starting the second quarter. And what do you guys think about Minnesota here in this one?
It's all about their defense. They have just done a terrific job of negating the timing and spacing of their opponent.
Every shot is challenged and challenged well.
Boston trailing. So on the floor for Minnesota. In the backcourt, Rubio and Muhammad. Payne out there with Tayshaun Prince. And it's Pekovic in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Now here's Turner. It's deflected, and that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession. Six on the shot clock. There's a good screen. Here's Olynyk. Good, and Smart gets the assist. Olynyk's got the second quarter going with the first basket of the period for the Celtics.
Tayshaun Prince, one of the ultimate Velcro guys. I mean, he's been in the league a long time. The consummate pro, as detailed, steady, and unflappable as they come.
Now here's Olynyk. After the minutes from Nikola Pekovic. Thomas kicks to Turner. Shoots a three. And again, Boston with the triple.
Really nice dime dropping there. Playmaking ability is exactly what you get from Isaiah Thomas.
Now here's Pekovic. Olynyk is covering. Got a piece of it. Thomas goes in to the paint. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
And the thing with Kelly Olynyk, he does some stuff that really helps you, and some also that will hurt. I mean, he's highly skilled. He's got the deep range, textbook positioning in terms of the post. A lot of tricky moves down there. Yet he has a hard time being effective against great athletes, which the NBA is filled with. So he's going to have to evolve as a basketball player if he wants to be effective.
Kevin Garnett, he's checked in for Payne. And he sinks the second. Well, and back to Kelly Olynyk. As a coach, you have to identify the matchups where he can be effective, because Clark is against explosive, long-limbed guys. They'll take advantage of him.
Yeah, they will, but in the right matchup, he's effective. He can help. He makes 35% of his threes, has done that for the last 2 years, and I think he gives you some toughness and rebounding as well. I like him as a second-unit player.
Now here's Pekovic, looking for his first basket still in this one. Here's Muhammad. That one a little long.
Well, I tell you what, that's too good a look to pass up there. Even though it didn't go, that's one you got to take.
Here's Thomas. Jerebko kicks to Turner. Baseline try. That's good on the jump shot. Turner's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Right now, they've got that field goal percentage up in the low 50s.
Putting it together offensively, looking to build some more momentum.
And Rubio kicks to Muhammad. Rubio against Thomas. Back to Pekovic. Here's Rubio. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. On offense, here are the Celtics. Right now they're on a 9-0 run. And there's the feed to Jerebko. Outside Thomas. The rebound by the Timberwolves.
You know, he can be a little hesitant near the rim. We saw it there. If the defense offers just a little bit of resistance, he doesn't take it up quite strong enough.
Now, here's Rubio. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Poked loose. Prince dishes to Garnett. And he's off on his first shot of the game.
Well, I think the defense got lucky right there. I mean, he's going to make a lot more of those than he misses when he's got that much room.
And so we conclude the first half. Boston on top. They storm through the end of the quarter on a 9-0 run. We're going to step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after our halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. Boston found themselves in a close game in the first. Some good moments from both teams, but as the first period wrapped up, they trailed by 2. In the second quarter, we began to see what they're capable of when everything starts clicking, as they pulled out to a 7-point lead by the end of the half. Taking a look at the Celtics, Shaq, what do you think?
I don't think anyone expected to see such numbers from the bench. You know, I'm impressed. It was what they needed, the jolt they needed, Ernie. Wow. Man, keep going, bench guys.
Kenny, let's get your input on the Timberwolves.
Well, obviously, they were outshot. I thought they mailed it in too many times in terms of their effort. People weren't moving, they weren't screening, and they definitely weren't hustling. They need to hit the ground running to be competitive in the second half, or they could get blown out.
And now, folks, it's just about time for the third quarter to begin. We will see you after the final buzzer.
The second half just about to get going here. Look at Evan Turner. What a contribution.
And even though the defensive pressure and attention was squarely on him in that first half, yet he's still able to be the most effective player on the floor.
But for him, Greg, it's nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, we don't expect anything less, and I bet he has even more in store for us during the stretch run.
Thomas is the point with Bradley into his side. Jay Crowder out there with Johnson. And it's Sellinger in at the 5. That's the group for Brad Stevens getting going here in the second half.
Well, you could see a change in the play with the Celtics after the trade deadline last year. Adding Isaiah Thomas gave them some pop off the bench and really created some balance for them offensively.
And that was something the Celtics needed, adding Thomas, a player that could come in and provide Clark instant offense for them off the bench.
And, Kevin, I think that was a turning point for them last year. I mean, they saw that they had a chance to make a big leap forward after the trade and responded accordingly.
The Timberwolves shooting their first free throws here tonight.
And typically a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
And they've made progress in that department from last season going into this one, guys. I mean, the numbers have improved.
Good on both.
And a lot of teams in the West can at least get a little bit of a breather when they go against the Eastern teams. The Wolves didn't have that last year. They got pummeled by the entire conference.
Now here's Bradley. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Thiem passes to Rubio. And a minute played as the second half gets going. Here's Wiggins. Good on the baseline, Jay. Greg, as you said, with the Wolves, they had as hard a time with the East as anyone. Only managed a 9-21 record, Clark, out of conference.
And those 9 wins were the fewest against the East for any team in the NBA. Not a surprise given how badly the Wolves struggled in general.
Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. And Bradley gets it to go.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Timberwolves trail by 6. Rubio outside. Dishes it to Levine. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. Rubio's got his 3rd assist on the night.
And he'll take it right into the teeth of the D without thinking twice about it. And Ricky Rubio, one of the youngest international basketball stars ever. We started hearing about him in the U.S. back when he was 16. And even then, powerful teams in Europe were all vying for his services.
Turner's checked in for Boston. Minnesota also with the sub. Muhammad, he's checked in for Ricky Rubio. Now here's Turner. D right on him. Just 5 to shoot. Rebound Minnesota. And going back to Rubio, Clark, his natural instincts in every phase of the game, as Greg was just talking about, are really second to none. In 06, he led Spain to a championship, registering 3 triple-doubles and 1 quadruple-double. Wow.
And despite those gaudy numbers, you just never know with an international star if, in fact, his game will translate to the NBA. Rubio's game obviously has.
Marcus Smart's checked in for the Celtics.
One shot. One shot, gentlemen.
And that one falls for Muhammad. Well, there was a time when the media had written off Shabazz Muhammad as an impact player. We showed last year he belongs in this NBA.
Yeah, certainly did. I mean, he improved in every facet of the game, and sometimes we tend to write guys off a little too soon, Kevin. The media in general, not you in particular. He's been a big-time performer for the Wolves.
Here's Levine. He has 7. Here's the teardrop.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
The Timberwolves have gone 3 for 3 at the line tonight.
All right, now, take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead. And that one falls, and that puts them up by 1 point. Just under 2.5 minutes into the 3rd quarter now. Outside Turner. Sullinger the screen. Crowder kicks to Bradley. Boston again missing. Minnesota with the ball. They're on an 11-3 run right now. Here's Levine. 9 points in the game so far. Here's Muhammad. The shot is off. Good work defensively by Turner. No good. It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end of 3. But Timberwolves on top, up 1. And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us. And we're set to start the action up here in the fourth quarter. And if it's anything like the first three, we should be in for a treat. Minnesota in the lead. And a look at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the fourth. Higgins outside at the 3 with Anthony Towns at the 4. Rubio and Levine teaming up in the backcourt. And it's Pekovic in at the 5, down low. Boston's gone 4-6 from outside the arc tonight. Bradley dishes to Thomas. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Thomas got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Celtics. And it's Rubio penetrating. And that one's good. And the Timberwolves lead by 1.
And I'm sensing something special going on here tonight.
It certainly does have the feeling of a classic, Greg. Let's see which team is better equipped to handle the pressure.
Thomas, good.
This has been a thriller. You cannot say enough about the way these two teams have competed.
All indications, Greg, are that this game is going down to the wire. I mean, I'd be surprised, actually shocked, if it ended any other way.
Pekovic with a screen. Here's Levine. An easy layup after coming off the pick.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. Brad Stevens had some words for his team over the break. He said, guys, for a team with our firepower, we're playing way too tight. We need to push the ball up the floor, get out in transition, and get those easy baskets. We can do this.
Bradley kicks to Turner.
Another one. DJ Khaled.
we'll see the Cleveland Cavaliers facing Detroit. Sit back and enjoy this presentation of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan to call the game with our analysts Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. So Detroit will get the first possession. And a look at the starters for the Cavaliers. LeBron and Love are the talented pair at the forward position. Kyrie Irving and J.R. Smith at the guard set. And it's Thompson in at the pivot, manning the middle. And stolen by Drummond. Goes up. Now that's how to finish the break. Throw down with force.
And I like how he puts himself in position there to finish on the break.
Yeah, you know, that's what we call seeing and feeling the game. Excellent read of how that play was going to develop and where the ball was going. That's stuff that you oftentimes can't teach, Greg.
Now here's Jackson. And here we go. Fast break. James has got it. Stolen by Jackson. One-on-one fast break. And that one is stuffed right through.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
Here is Love after the basket by Detroit. Just a bit of an up and down year for the Pistons last season. Had some long winning streaks and some long losing streaks for first-year head coach Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah, Kevin, some would say it was addition by subtraction because they really went on that big run after they released Josh Smith. 7 straight wins for them at one point, and they also did have some giant lulls.
And he can't get the second one to drop either. Coming up empty that time.
Not a typical trip to the line for him there. He had been knocking him down today.
And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time. First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. The drive by LeBron. And stolen by Drummond. The Pistons another fast break chance right here. Jackson gets the bucket. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Pistons.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
Yeah, the other thing, though, is they have attacks in the open floor. They're definitely getting a lot of easy ones that way.
And, you know, those giant lulls were a big part of the Pistons' season. I mean, their biggest losing streak was 13 straight losses, and a lot of that you attribute to their defense.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you can hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
Detroit shooting their initial free throws of the game right here.
And the Pistons also went into a slump after they traded for Reggie Jackson. 1-9 after the trade deadline. They would end the season on a better note, but truly they were streaky last season.
So it's the Pistons now, following the miss by J.R. Smith. Here's Harris. There's the basket and make it a double-digit lead.
Harris! And the offense has come together immediately. I mean, they're threatening to run away with this thing already.
Greg, it's hard to imagine they'll stay this hot for 4 quarters, but if they even approximate that, watch out.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert. Very often.
Cleveland with a very strong year last year. They were a very solid team on the road, as most LeBron-led teams are.
Yeah, he's a special guy in terms of how he can elevate other players. Didn't start out hot on the road, but eventually got it together and ended up 22-19 away from home.
first one falls for him.
And back to the Cavs and their road play. Teams with a lot of new players coming in can struggle early. It's especially evident when playing on the road.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. Tolliver comes in for Morris. Johnson, he's checked in for Tobias Harris. And Steve Blake is subbed in for Jackson.
Yeah, poor job defensively, giving him such a clear look at the basket from three-point range.
Talk about being streaky on the road. That's what the Cavs were. I mean, could rattle off 4 wins on the road in a row, then come back empty from their next road trip. They did seem, though, to get stronger and more steady as the season went on.
LeBron, no good. Down low. And Caldwell Pope gets the basket. Caldwell Pope got 8.
And a huge lead here early to start.
Well, you know, right from the tip, there's not anything they haven't done well so far.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Cavaliers.
And did not seem happy about how things are going on right now and maybe wants to make some changes.
I agree. I mean, just was not comfortable with the way things were set up at that particular time. And in that case, I think it's the right thing to do.
Big group substitution here for Cleveland. Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Mozgov. Love comes in for Channing Frye. Smith checked in for Shumpert. And Irving subbed in for Matthew Dellavedova. James dishes to Love. Back to LeBron. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession.
Detroit ball.
Pistons leading by 11.
Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA.
And J.R. Smith with a slam.
Up high and down hard with the one-hander.
Got a little extra force for that one, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I think that's going to rouse up his teammates, no doubt. No doubt they've come into this game with a really aggressive approach, just pounding the ball inside.
It certainly is working. They're finding the open lanes to the hoop and owning this game early.
Well, with Coach Stan Van Gundy, it was a very successful first year in Detroit. He's a guy who's going to build around defense. That's been his M.O.
And Van Gundy has always been a defensive-first type guy, Kevin. I mean, the last 30 years, he has probably the best defensive efficiency for a career as a coach. And his teams always play with great emphasis on that side of the ball.
Blake for 3. That's a miss, his second after 2 shots. And another miss by Cleveland. Pistons leading by 8. Over to the wing. Meeks. Rebound by Smith.
It's not winning basketball when you're attempting shots like that.
Yeah, come on now. You got to remember it's a team game. He's got 4 teammates out there with him. I don't think he needs to try to do it all by himself like that.
The basket's coming early and often in the first quarter. Pistons lead by 6. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And guys, looking at what you've seen so far from the Pistons, what do you think?
A lot of times the team that owns the paint is going to come away with the victory, and that's what they've done here thus far.
Yeah, why change the plan until they make you? And that's where they should continue to attack moving forward, going inside.
And so in the game for the Cavaliers, J.R. Smith and LeBron at the 2 and 3. Tristan Thompson is out there with Kevin Love. And it's Irving at the point.
Tacks a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
That's bringing it down hard. Clark
Yes,
bringing it down
sir.
hard,
Yes,
my
sir.
brother.
Yes, sir.
Symbolic there as well of the effort here tonight. And really, last season was one of improvement for the Pistons. They were able to shoot the ball better and better as the season wore on. Overall, they cut out the little mistakes that had bothered them back in 14.
It's rebounded by Cleveland. Some firepower, Clark, from this offense.
Yeah, Kevin, how about the air of confidence? I mean, they
Yeah.
really look like they believe in what they're doing.
Yeah, they got a nice groove going right now offensively.
Usually, if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
And there's the feed to Thompson. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
And Kevin, the knack for the offensive rebound are a big part of what makes this guy special.
Not to mention, Greg, his ability to finish with strength, just like that.
Yeah, he's an invaluable asset for them to have. No question about it.
Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Cavaliers on D. Only giving up 2 points this quarter.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why, I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that.
Timeout called, Cleveland. The Cavaliers trail by 4. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
That's a major mental mistake. I mean, there's no other way for me to describe it. He didn't know where he was on the court. That's a basic fundamental. You have to be alert to where you are.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And, you know, that lead's only going to grow if they're not prepared to defend a little more staunchly than that.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Purposeful passing it is, partner. Their last 10 points have all come off assists.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
Old school D right there, just telling them no easy layups. It's as simple as that. And that's what you expect from them.
So he picks up just 1 from the line that time.
And one problem with the Cavs last season was they put immediate pressure on themselves. A part of that was the trade for Kevin Love.
The Cavaliers trail by 7. The pass to Love. Tries to keep it alive. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Harris. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Detroit. Johnson comes in for Jackson. Love kicks to Thompson. It's stolen by Morris. The feed now to Meeks. Tolliver, no luck.
just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allowed the defender to recover and contest that shot.
As you said, the Cavs put a lot of pressure on themselves because of the trade. You could see it affect the way they came out of the gate.
And you know, it was just night and day, Kevin, when the Cavs began to relax and click. I mean, a total transformation and turnaround. They would go 19-20 in the first 39 games, and then 34-9 over the rest of the season once those guys gelled and got locked in.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
5 straight baskets, Greg, resulting from assists. They're playing as one unit out there.
Now, here is Irving. 9 points in the game so far.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard.
And the Pistons making a change here. Baines is checked in. Then for the Cavaliers, Mozgov. He's checked in for Tristan Thompson. And it's Iman Shumpert in for LeBron. And he gets the bucket.
And now he's taken a solid opening in the quarter and built on it here in the second.
Johnson attacking. Good D by Irving. The Cavaliers trail by 9. Passes it to Smith. And he caps off the fast break with a monster slam.
The one-hand tomahawk for you, folks. That's automatic highlight reel material.
That got their entire bench right up and out of their chairs.
And Kevin, how about the reaction from his teammates? Not just on the bench. Look at the guys even in the game.
He always knows where his teammate's going to be, and Kevin, that will let him put the ball where he wants it, right waiting for him. How about that? Breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk.
A nice way to pad that lead a little more.
Yes, indeed.
Outside jumper. Fires for 3. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. And welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. More action in store as the players get ready to go, having a nice break to get hydrated with Gatorade. You look at Kyrie Irving in this game, he has been everywhere.
You know, we talk so often about making your teammates better, and his ability to see the floor and then make those passes on time in that first half was the key.
Boy, I tell you what, they say he's not a playmaker, but he certainly has fooled me with the way he's performing right now.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. You look at Kyrie Irving in this game, he has been everywhere.
And he just went off in those first 2 quarters, guys. He's capable of doing that on a consistent basis as well. So we might see some changes from a defensive standpoint as they try to disrupt his rhythm in the second half.
You know, guys, I think you've got to make some sort of change. I mean, they can't let him continue to torch him up like he has been.
Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On the floor for Detroit, Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards.
Oh! I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatics.
Oh, come on, Clark. He had to go for it, didn't he?
Yeah, but hey. He's an athlete, and I can't fault him for that one, although if he missed it, I might have.
It's stolen by Morris. And here we go. The jam. Beautiful.
That's how you make an impact with defense. Once the steal is made, you know they're going to be scattered. floor is open. Take care of business.
Always an advantage when you can get out in the open floor. You get much better rhythm offensively. And this lead, I think, is headed up.
Here's Jackson. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two.
That's his second.
Well, last season, the Pistons didn't reach the playoffs for the 6th consecutive season. They're making progress, but as we can all see, still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you know, they were spoiled for a while there. How about going to the playoffs for 1996 to 2009? So it's been a rough stretch here of late. But you get the feeling that the building blocks are in place for another push.
Well, you go back last season, the Cavs had a very slow start to the year. Not surprising. They had a lot of new faces and people they're bringing together. Clark, it didn't look like the powerhouse they would end up being as we saw.
Well, you know, they were kind of fumbling and bumbling around in the 5th and 6th spots in the East for the first half of the season. Made some changes, though, through trade, and that got them going, I think.
And now the first timeout called here for Detroit.
And those midseason trades for the Cavs really turned things around. Mozgov came in, J.R. Smith and Shumpert secured that 2 spot, gave this team an incredible edge defensively.
J.R. Smith's checked in for Cleveland. Third quarter of play with just over a minute and a half gone by.
Yeah, and you know, they built the roster to how they played best midseason. I mean, it was a great job, I think, by the front office to get the players that fit best into the locker room and into the team style of play. Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high. Fantastic one-hand jam.
Nice way there, guys, to finish up that possession.
LeBron drives in. Here's Love. Plenty of space. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. LeBron's got 3 assists in the game. Jackson passes to Harris. Here's Drummond. And he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket. Drummond's got it all tied up now for Detroit.
Where's the box out? Some easy second chance opportunities there.
Those kinds of mistakes drive me crazy and will absolutely derail a team's chance to win. He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the lead.
It's stolen by Morris. It's Jackson with the drive. Tries from 10. That's good from Harris on the assist by Jackson. Now it's a 5-point Detroit lead. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Cavaliers will retain possession.
Oh, nice play there to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
Just a whisker away from coming up with the steal there.
Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for the Pistons. Johnson comes in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. James kicks to Thompson. Great pass to set up the lay-in. Thompson's got 5 points so far.
And really just led him to his sweet spot for that finish.
The Cavaliers trail by 3. Here's Irving. Lays it up and banks it in. Irving's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Make it 10 of their last 12 points coming off assists.
You have to love the ball movement.
The one-hand slam is so sweet when it's his hand doing the slam.
Oh, yeah, he is so smooth, even on a power finish like that.
And really, that's what makes him unique, that combination of power and polish.
Timeout called the Cavaliers.
They've been committing a lot of turnovers, and I imagine that's exactly what they're talking about right now. They need to tighten it up.
For the Pistons, Aaron Baines comes in for Andre Drummond. And it's Jody Meeks in for Harris.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, guys?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
Yeah, the Pistons ended last season with a record of 32-50. They played decently enough against the rest of the East and had 23 of their 32 wins against the Eastern Conference.
Johnson in the corner. To the inside. Tolliver with the bucket.
They're straying away from the three-point game here in the second half. Woo. I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatic.
Oh, come on, Clark. He had to go for it, didn't he?
Yeah, but hey. He's an athlete, and I can't fault him for that one. Although, if he missed it, I might have.
Just 5 to shoot. And the basket by Johnson. The Cavaliers trailing. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. So nice passing by Cleveland here. Love dishes to Thompson. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Aaron Baines. That is his first foul of the game.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, he kind of slid underneath as he got to the spot, too.
On defense, Detroit. And James throws it down.
His performance today has just been so important. What a luxury to have a guy that's that dependable.
Smith for 3. No good. 1 second left. Meeks, good. Meeks got his second bucket. And as we conclude the third quarter, what a game, neither team giving ground. Pistons ahead. They lead by 2. We've got more. All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. The Pistons lead it. On the court for Cleveland, Kyrie Irving and J.R. Smith at the guard set. LeBron and Love are the talented pair at the forward position. And it's Thompson in at center.
And really, he's just done a great job of finding the open man every trip down.
Boy, it sure has seemed as though he's done it every time. It's been an awesome display of passing for him today.
And the rejection by Love. And it's Smith that time on the assist by James. LeBron's got 6 assists in the game.
Great hustle to turn the block shot into a fast break hoop. That's a big-time play.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
I certainly do. You know, I like to see guys do their work inside. Their rebounding has been excellent, and that's always important in a close game. You know, the Cavs last season won a bunch of games, but they had to fight for a lot of them. They often would fall behind early or dig a big hole and have to fight their way out of it.
And it's Harris off the drive. Jackson passes to Drummond. 5 to shoot. Jackson kicks to Caldwell Pope. Pulls up from the corner. They get it back.
Tell you what, guys, his size really comes into play when there's a rebound battle going on. He's got an advantage in there.
And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Cleveland.
I'll tell you what, they've hit the boards hard in this one. It's led to an abundance of second-chance points. I mean, they've gotten a lot of second-chance points.
Yeah, and the other thing they've done since the beginning of this game is score points off turnovers and in bunches.
You mentioned, GA, the Cavs and their comebacks. They actually overcame double-digit deficits for 13 of their 53 wins last year.
Yeah, Kevin, I remember their biggest one being a comeback after being down 17 points. I mean, but when you have the star power that the Cavs have, no comeback is out of the question. You're just never safe against this team.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. Kyrie Irving really making a difference here.
He just continues to light them up. They're going to have to find a way to make him work harder for his point.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Well, over the break, I listened listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. He let his players know that they've got to do a better job on defense. He said, they're scoring any way they want. We've got to show some pride here. Let's make a stand defensively, get us stops, and get on a run of our own. Do they have it in them, Kevin?
Kicks it out to Love. Inside. The shot is off. And it's Detroit the other way. To the inside. And it's Drummond with the jam.
Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high. Fantastic one-hand jam.
Nice way there, guys, to finish up that possession.
Outside jumper. J.R. Smith on the wing. Back to Shumpert. On the wing, Thompson. That one off the back iron and out.
Major defensive lapse right there. I mean, he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it. Incredible timing on the alley-oop.
He absolutely hammered it down.
And guys, mark that play right there, because that could be the one that leads to a surge to break this thing wide open.
And, oh, here we go. Smith's got it, the fast break chance. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. Smith's got the game tied up here for the Cavs.
And this has been purely a display of offense that we're seeing.
And, you know, it's only getting better as both of these teams' defenses are starting to show signs of wearing down. Threw it down with authority.
Oh, he can really fly. And you combine that, Clark, with some of the nice penetration, too, and you've got an easy 2 points.
And able to just play well above the rim. I mean, that makes this guy so dangerous when he's in the game. And he's shaking off that slow start, giving them a boost here in the second.
It's tipped. Caldwell Pope wishes to Drummond. And here's Morris for three. And the basket good.
Another pass put right into the shooter's pocket, right in the shooting pocket for a terrific assist. They've done a lot of that today.
And it's something we haven't seen much of at the opposite end of the floor.
Just floating to the rim on that slam.
Boy, when he gets up and stays up.
You could clock his hang time with an hourglass.
Jody Meeks, he's checked in for the Pistons. Pistons leading by 5. Drummond. Rebound by Smith.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
You know, to cut deficits, you got to be making smart basketball plays out there. Taking care of the ball. It's not done by hoisting up bonehead threes like that one.
And Thompson kicks to Smith. Offensive rebound. Now Detroit moving it up. Meeks leading the charge. And now the Cavaliers. Fast break. Smith's running. Irving with it. Guarded now by Jackson. Yes! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
What a bucket at one of the more crucial moments of the game.
How about the collected way in which he delivered it? Clutch.
Works that one inside nicely.
And Thompson throws it down.
You know, he's not your typical NBA center in terms of height, guys, but he plays as big as any of them, thanks to his incredible bounceability.
Smith dishes to Love to take the lead. Can't get the three to fall. And there's the whistle, called a clear path foul there. Yep, And he'll shoot 2 at the line. First free throw is good, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And a tough break as his second attempt at the line, no good. Here's Drummond.
Making 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right, Kevin?
Yeah, that's right. You got it. And he was also safe with that dunk.
No reason not to be.
And guys, as he should be. Remove all doubt on that attack.
That's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
And so it's the Pistons who come out on top here. That
I want you to know that it's our time. You and me bleed the same light. I want you to know that I'm all yours. You and me run the same course. I'm slipping down a chain reaction, and here I go, here I go, here I go, go. And once again I'm yours in fractions. It takes me down, pulls me down, pulls me down low. Honey, it's raining tonight, but storms always have the night. Tell me you're covered tonight, or tell me lies, tell me lies. I want you to know that it's our time. You and me bleed the same light. I want you to know that I'm all yours. You and me, we're the same force. I want you to know that it's our time. You and me bleed the same light. I want you to know that I'm all yours. You and me run the same course.
It's the Clippers and the City of Angels for a little interconference action here at the Staples Center. Bringing you another edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan to call the game with our analysts Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And now the opening lineup for Detroit. Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. Marcus Morris is out there with Harris. And it's Drummond in at the 5 spot. Not to the surprise of anyone, really, but the Clippers last year were strong at home once again. They managed to go 30-11 at Staples Center.
Yeah, and Kevin, that makes 3 straight seasons for the Clippers of 30 or more wins at home.
And here's Jackson following the 3 from Chris Paul. And stolen by Jordan. Crawford with the ball. Guarded now by Morris. Crawford, no luck.
You know, the big thing for the Clippers is that they won some big games in Staples over tough opponents. I mean, also won 6 of their last 7 to secure the 3 seed in the West.
Off the inbound pass. And can't hit the shot, but they're saying he got hacked, so he'll head to the free throw line. It's going to be on DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, the defender all over.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
And one issue with the Clippers at home is that it didn't feel like they were at home. Blake Griffin said home court advantage is just not there for us. And this is on the heels of a loss where the crowd was cheering for the other team louder than the Clippers at times.
And Detroit has possession. Left side, Harris. Oh, he got hacked on the three-pointer. He'll head to the line. It's going to be on Blake Griffin.
Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA. We're seeing today what makes him one of the best free throw shooters among the league's big men. Beautiful stroke.
Deep 2 from Crawford. Misses off the right iron.
Well, that's an excellent challenge right there. Good job contesting that shot by the defender.
Here's Morris. And Drummond throws it down.
And Kevin, the knack for the offensive rebound are a big part of what makes this guy special.
Not to mention, Greg, his ability to finish with strength just like that.
Yeah, he's an invaluable asset for them to have. No question about it.
And DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
Boy, he is such a ridiculous dunker.
High riser, no doubt about it.
Goodness, I mean, you come to expect plays like that from him, and folks, that never gets old.
Now here's Jackson. Griffin with the steal. Crawford outside. Crawford with another miss.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Here's Caldwell Pope. Good, and Harris gets the assist.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
Can't get anything to drop. I mean, the way he's going, it's probably not something he should try and shoot his way out of.
Well, they say you should shoot your way out of it, but his teammates probably have other thoughts in mind. The last thing they want to see him doing is continuing to cast that jumper up.
Here's Crawford after the basket by Detroit. Shot's good from Mbah-a-Moute.
He can be a weapon if he gets going early from long range.
Well, last season, the Pistons didn't reach the playoffs for the 6th consecutive season. They're making progress, but as we can all see, still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you know, they were spoiled for a while there. How about going to the playoffs for 1996 to 2009? So it's been a rough stretch here of late, but you get the feeling that the building blocks are in place for another push.
That puts them in the lead. 8 points for Chris Paul. And now we'll get a perspective here on the hustle game, how it's been going for the Clippers.
Great hustle defensively through the first half, contesting everything and racking up the block shots.
Another thing, I mean, they've done a great job early of creating chaos on defense, being disruptive and getting steals through the first half of today's game.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. Tolliver comes in for Morris. Johnson, he's checked in for Harris. And it's Jody Meeks in for Calder.
And I bet most people forget that the Pistons did make the playoffs for 8 straight years before this current drought. It's been a long rebuild process for them recently, but I think they're making progress and moving in the right direction.
And for the Pistons, they seem to have a direction and plan now that just wasn't the case before. It won't be easy to get back into the postseason, but I really feel like they are on the right path. Oh, quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
And then Johnson with the jam.
And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
Here's Redick. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. And it's out of bounds. The Clippers able to retain possession here.
Well, close to picking that one off.
Still a nice play to make sure that pass didn't reach its target.
9 seconds left in the first. From downtown, cannot hit. Jackson. Oh, we've seen some great shots in the first quarter. No shortage of offense. Clippers ahead. Ending the first quarter on a 14-6 run. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here. What have they been doing or not doing?
Well, they've dictated tempo with their defense and been able to force some turnovers.
Yeah, and you know, they've also done a good job, Greg, on their end of the floor by not throwing the ball away.
Here are the 5 Detroit has to start the second quarter. Aaron Baines out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's Jody Meeks. Then there's Jackson. And it's Harris in the small forward position.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that. And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
They might be named after a car part, but the Pistons had a rough go of things on the road, Clark. They just had to use it. They just couldn't stay consistent away from home.
They couldn't. Only won 14 road games, and that number is not enough to get you to the playoffs.
Now Johnson. After the missed 3 from Reggie Jackson. And we play just over a minute of basketball here in the second quarter. Meeks. Cannot hit. The Clippers go the other way with it. Shoots it up. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
Here's Harris. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Jackson's got 3 assists now in this one.
The mid-range jumper is a high percentage shot for him, and when he's got that much room, forget it.
And the Clippers making a change here. And Baamute's checked in. Caldwell Pope, he's checked in for the Pistons. Paul with the three. Kicks it out to Crawford. Jordan trying to free himself up. Crawford's shot is good.
The entire defense was frozen-footed. Nobody picked up the shooter, Kevin.
Morris passes to Caldwell Pope. Here's Drummond. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
And Mbah-a-Moute can't get it to go. Pistons trail by 3. And Mbah-a-Moute with the steal. Crawford outside. That's tipped. Dives for it. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. The Pistons have gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. The three. There's the pass to Mbah-a-Moute. Paul for 3. Rejected by Harris. And they're able to recover. Shot's good from Mbah-a-Moute.
Well, it's obvious the difference in this quarter has been their dominance on the offensive boards.
Yeah, plenty of second chance points. Also keeps the opponents out of transition, not resting on their lead, staying active.
And Los Angeles with some changes. Jeff Green is checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Redick comes in for Jamal Crawford. And it's Austin Rivers in for Paul. Here is Mbah-a-Moute. Pulls up on the wing. Morris kicks to Caldwell Pope. He drains the quick shot.
And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Showed nice basketball IQ. I agree, Greg. I mean, if he finds his spot on the perimeter and doesn't force it, I think his outside shot will be hard to block no matter who's defending.
The Clippers have converted 1 of 2 free throws so far today. That one is off.
And the Clippers not known for being an outside shooting team, but they take a large amount of deep mid-range twos as well as their fair share of threes.
Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for the Clippers. And then for Detroit, Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. Tolliver comes in for Marcus Morris. And it's Johnson in for Harris. For the Clippers, you think of Lob City and it's all dunks. But the reality is, Clark, as Greg was just talking about, that just isn't the case.
It really isn't. I mean, they also led the league in pull-up shots attempted by a wide margin, about 24 pull-up J's a game.
Jeff Green with the basket.
Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. And the Clippers lead by 3.
Hard work and soft hands, guys. That's what made that play possible.
No simple offensive rebound there. Going for the tip-in.
Yeah, and that's what happens, though, when you do your work early in terms of getting the good position. And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And guys, in a game this snug, moments like that are the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker.
Pierce is checked in for the Clippers. And a switcher also for Detroit. Meeks is checked in.
And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the rack.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Well, it was. I mean, a tight game like this one, you think they'd have a little more energy at the defensive end than that.
And Paul Pierce with the slam.
Right back to the basics there, using the one-hand slam for that one.
Doesn't he make the basics look pretty exceptional?
Yeah, he does. They look sweet when he does them.
And he better stay with those basics because it's...
I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points. Not the dramatic.
Oh, come on, Clark. He had to go for it, didn't he?
Yeah, but hey.
And so it's a close game as we wrap up the first half of basketball. Los Angeles on top, up by 3. And we'll be back for the second half following the break. Keep it right here on 2K Sports. We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Andre Drummond has been sensational.
Yeah, how about that first half? He's already scored more points than he averages on the season.
Yeah, he's on pace for a monster game. It's too bad he can't score like this every night.
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. Andre Drummond has been sensational.
And he really just broke out the entire arsenal of post moves there in that first half.
And I think he might even have a few more tricks up his sleeve. I mean, he'll break them out as we start heading down the stretch. I'm sure of that.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. So for the Clippers right now, Paul and Crawford pair up at the 1 and 2. Inside, it's Griffin and Jordan. And it's Mbah Moute in the 3 spot. And the call will go against Anthony Tolliver. That is his first foul of the game. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Drummond's checked in for Aaron Baines. Morris comes in for Anthony Tolliver. Tobias Harris is checked in for Johnson. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Jody Meeks. Caldwell Pope kicks to Harris. That 3 off target had some space there after the little pump fake. Detroit had a hard time making shots consistently last season. Clark, not a good shooting team from the floor. And, of course, that's in this league, it's going to kill you.
Yeah, it really will. I mean, at one point last year, Kevin, 3 of their 5 starters were in the bottom 10 in terms of players' field goal percentage. I mean, hard to win any game that way.
Here's Drummond. The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. It's going to be on DeAndre Jordan. For Detroit, they have made 3 of their first 5 foul shots tonight.
And the Pistons would finish in the bottom 3 in terms of team shooting last year. But for the most part, their shooting did improve over the course of the season.
Los Angeles calls timeout. Here's Paul. Gets it to go from 18 feet away. Paul's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And, you know, for the Pistons, they really had nowhere to go but up. I mean, shooting under 43% as a team is more than worrisome. I mean, it's something they'll have to drastically improve going forward.
Mbah Moute against Harris. Lets it go from the wing. Rebounded by the Pistons. Morris has got 4 rebounds in this game. To tie. The shot is off. Great D that time from Jordan. Paul with the ball. Guarded now by Morris. They get it back. Jordan dishes to Mbah Moute. Here's Paul. A second chance effort.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
It's his first trip to the line.
And guys, the Clippers last year, they were okay against the Eastern Conference, but not spectacular. You would have thought that with how well they were overall, they would have just really feasted on the East.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Johnson's checked in. There's Crawford with the 3. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Jordan.
Tit for tat right there, huh, guys?
Didn't take them long at all, fellas, to get those 3 points back.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. You know, you work hard all season, Greg, to try and get into the playoffs, then get a favorable first-round matchup. How about the Clippers last year? Followed those steps. They're rewarded with the first-round matchup against the defending champions of the league, the San Antonio Spurs.
And not only were the Spurs the defending champions, but they came in playing terrific basketball down the stretch, which is kind of what they are noted for. And the Clippers, though, did well, even though that was the case.
And Chris Paul, the bucket on the assist by Johnson. Paul's got the lead up to 6 now for Los Angeles.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high. Fantastic one-hand jam.
Nice way there, guys, to finish up that possession.
Great anticipation and awareness to come up with the steal and trigger the fast break.
And now just a one-possession game thanks to that quick hitter. Outstanding play in the open court.
And the Clippers getting another bucket right there.
Boy, I tell you, it was a tough road for the Clippers in the playoffs. They get by the Spurs in round 1 in a 7-game emotional series, then immediately have to go up against the Rockets in round 2.
And he gets it to go. Paul's got 11 in the second half.
I don't think they can ask much more of him than what he's done this quarter.
There's the triple. But they get it back. Green kicks to Crawford. And it's Johnson penetrating. Some solid defense from Harris.
And he thought he had a clear path to the hoop, but the defense didn't give up on that play and cut him off. And we all remember the Clippers would go up 3-1 against the Rockets. They had that 19-point lead in the fourth quarter of Game 6, but couldn't hold on to it and lose Game 7. And it was one of the biggest series collapses, really, in postseason history.
A big group substitution here for the Clippers. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for Jordan. Pierce comes in for Jeff Green. J.J. Redick's checked in for Jamal Crawford. And it's Austin Rivers in for Paul. Johnson outside. Kicks it to Rivers. Fires the 3. Here's Aldrich. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup. And the Clippers lead by 6.
Guys, he's actually indefatigable. He never gives in, never gives up on a play, and that's what it takes to be a great offensive rebounder. You've got to be relentless.
Shots continuing to fall as we conclude the third quarter. All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. Pistons trailed by 4. On the court for the Pistons, Jackson and Caldwell Pope, the guards. Andre Drummond is out there with Marcus Morris. And it's Harris in at the 3, the small forward.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, free throws are always better than a layup, so I'd agree with you there, Greg.
Rivers passes to Griffin. And it's sent back by Drummond. To the wing right side. Caldwell Pope. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket. The Clippers shooting about 42% so far. To the middle. Here's Redick. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. That's on Reggie Jackson.
And Detroit with a 32-50 record last season. They didn't have any help from the schedule. They had a total of 22 back-to-back series on the year, tied for most in the league.
There's not a lot you can say that hasn't been said before about his skill at the charity stripe.
That's tipped. Bahamute with the steal. Redick with the bucket. Redick's got the lead up to 6 now for Los Angeles. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the Clippers.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
And I also love what they've done defensively in terms of closing out to the shooters, getting a hand up, just making them feel a little uncomfortable on the offensive end. And I think taking a time here to talk things over is a smart idea.
One of the things you want to do is make sure everybody is clearly on the same page with the game plan. And sometimes you need a timeout to make sure that's the case.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Doc Rivers address his team. With his team struggling from three-point territory, he told them to start looking for more high-quality shots inside the paint. We're forcing too many threes, he said. Stop with the bombs and work it inside.
And as always, Doris, thank you. Jackson is doubled. In the corner, Drummond with it. And the serious dunk to finish it off.
That's a big boy dunk right there. Grown man sledgehammer dunk.
That was a violent attack on the rim.
Enough said on that one.
Pistons trail by 3. Jackson dishes to Drummond. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Some hang time on that rim puts a little whipped cream on that angel food cake there.
It's a tight ball game, and those displays of strength, Clark, can get one team rolling.
Agreed.
And also the other on its heels. Let's see how this one turns out.
Jackson down low, defended by Paul. Jackson misses. Clippers leading by 3. All going up court. And Chris Paul the bucket on the assist from Ban Mute. And that's 21 points for Chris Paul.
No doubt that is within his range.
Well, I would hope so. He's a pro, and it was only a 1-footer. Come on now. They haven't done as much inside as they did in the first half. They've got to get back to their game plan, which is to work the ball inside and then force the defense to react and play from there.
Clippers have gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the fourth. A pretty nice efficiency there.
Defense better watch out. They better be alert because this guy can make threes, as we saw in the first half.
Here's Jackson. He nails it, and we're tied up.
Big time bucket there, and you can expect to see him stay very involved the rest of the way.
Griffin kicks to Paul. It's stolen by Harris. Here we go, all alone. It's tipped. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Crawford. And the Pistons making a change here. Meeks is checked in. 3rd minute of action now gone here in the 4th. And he gets the bucket. And let's get your guys' take now on the hustle stats for the Pistons.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. They've been in attack mode on the defensive end.
The number of second chance points they've gotten is also impressive. I mean, they've kept so many possessions alive with offensive rebounds.
Paul passes to Crawford. 6 on the shot clock. And now the Pistons fast break. Here's Meeks. It's hauled in by Jamal Crawford.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
Morris against Paul. Morris dishes to Harris. And Jordan sends it back. Here's Drummond. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Now it's a 4-point Detroit lead.
You know, it's really hard not to notice the difference in the passing of these two teams today.
It's a stark discrepancy when you look at the assist columns and you see that difference as far as the fluidity in their respective offenses.
And out of bounds as the Clippers gain possession. They're not having much success at all right now.
Kevin, I would shuffle the lineup if I were their coach a little bit just to try to find something that works. And offensively, he has been a liability more than he's helped this quarter.
And Griffin sends it back. And that's out of bounds. Detroit will retain possession. Caldwell Pope, he's checked in for Jody Meeks. There's 39 seconds left in the 4th quarter.
Perfect inbounds play there. You couldn't have drawn it up any better.
There's 38 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Jordan. Count it.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
And Jordan sends it back.
No time to spare. They need a bucket.
Without question. Again, maybe a steal or a foul to get the clock stopped as well.
Those are huge points.
Beyond huge, partner. I mean, they needed that bucket desperately.
And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
Yeah, you can't let them hold the ball and just milk those last seconds away.
No, you got to foul. I mean, it's going to come down to free throws here. Foul right away. You know, they've got a foul to give here if they need it.
Yeah, definitely something to keep in mind for them right now.
Los Angeles calls timeout. They're trailing by 3. 12 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What do you think, guys?
And there's still time left, so they don't necessarily have to go for the 3. A quick, easy bucket inside will do.
Well, I think the clock's a little short here for that. I mean, I'm not quite sold on the quick 2. I think they've got to look for a quality 3 to try to tie this thing up based on where the clock is right now. Man, he slams it home and gets a little camera time on the backside of it.
He spent a while up there on the rim.
And I like the fact that the ref's going to give him a little bit of leeway there and a lot more than they used to.
Los Angeles calls timeout. Guys, your thoughts?
They need a quick 3 here. It's a tough shot. The odds are against them, but anything's possible.
And so the big win by Detroit in a tight game. This win, such a tremendous emotional boost for them.
Really an accomplishment and crazy finish to take a road game like this and simply deflate an entire building.
And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony.
Convict music. We the best. Yeah. We taking over. Spread out with it. South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, on to North Carolina, Philadelphia, Virginia. From down in Miami, where warm in the winter. On up to Minnesota, where storm in the winter. Jacksonville, Tallahassee, Memphis, 10, holla at me. B&H Town, Southside, Cloverland, Daddy, I'm the man out in Dallas. Better ass Cali. Catman, Cali with my eyes open valley. Blowing and spinning, going down Vinny. Drop 6, 4, 3, wheel and switch it. Red light stop, make it drop for the out. With it. Anything you hear that I said, I meant it. Can't got the crown, then spit out with it. Say you need I said, I get it. If you want to, we can supply you. Got enough work to feed the whole town. They won't you unless you try to. Come around and try to stop on our ground. Cause we taking over. Said we taking over. Said we taking over.
Time.
It's what I does. I get money every day I does that. It's how I ride. Black flag on the left too. Ride, you better move. Yeah, get shit like shine that's on my neck. I'm big like Diddy. I'm with it. Cali, we did it. Biggie in my city. Please no fit it. Hit them too. The bread and get stupid. Silly. Money that come, run it like water. Money so.
We'll be bringing you an interconference matchup in this one as the Spurs come into town. We're in the palace of Auburn Hills. The Pistons are playing before their hometown crowd here in the Detroit area. Sit back and enjoy this presentation of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan to call the game with our analysts Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony.
Reggie Jackson for 2.
And a look at the starters for San Antonio. The timeless Parker and Manu are the 1 and the 2. Kawhi Leonard is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Duncan in at the center.
And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league.
Here's Caldwell Pope. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
Yeah, heard the whistle and then kept his focus and able to still knock it down.
And, Greg, to be able to take the bump like that and maintain control, that's not easy to do. I know you're kind of a little fella, but I was a big guy when I played, so I know how difficult that is. That was impressive.
San Antonio on defense.
And not known as a rim rattler. I mean, he's usually kind of rooted to the floor, not elevating to the rim.
Well, Greg, with his length, he doesn't have to go far to get to that rim.
I'll tell you what, guys, he got it right there without a problem.
The San Antonio Spurs, a team that has had such a strong core and is so disciplined, Clark, it's hard to see them struggle, even think of them struggling, even on the road.
Well, you know, last season they did have trouble at times on the road, but 22-19, still not too bad.
The Spurs making a switch here. Mills is checked in. Kicks it out to Ginobili. San Antonio again missing.
Shots aren't dropping yet. They've missed 4 of their first 5 shots.
And for the Spurs on the road, it wasn't the scoring. They were so good at home, but scored 8.5 points less per game on the road. That was the biggest margin in the NBA.
Now here is Aldridge. Kawhi Leonard unable to get his shot to go. There's the bucket. Good.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
A rebound by the Spurs.
Boy, it's been a long time since the Spurs had a losing record on the road, so there aren't any concerns for them. I mean, they've never had a losing road record since Tim Duncan was drafted. Wow, that's back to 1997.
Ginobili with the steal. Some solid defense there from Jackson. Morris kicks to Jackson. Here's Drummond. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
And the defense out of position on that possession, which allowed for him to get that offensive board.
Well said. Yes, he did. You're right, Greg. That's a tremendous jam on the putback.
What a great nose for the basketball he has, and such a strong finisher as well.
Jackson. Duncan with the block. Leonard attacking. 9 feet out. Outside, Ginobili. Ginobili can't get that one to fall. Pistons leading by 3. Lots of room. And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. That is his first foul of the game. For the Pistons, Johnson comes in for Harris. And it's Jody Meeks in for Reggie Jackson. West is checked in for the Spurs. Martin comes in for Manu Ginobili.
You know, the defense was lax right there, and he's able to make them pay.
I've really appreciated their activity in the post today. I mean, their movement down low has been great.
Oh, that's right on the money. They've generated a lot of easy opportunities on the inside.
And he gets it to go. Johnson's got his first basket.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done. He had his head on the swivel and was able to pick out the pass and get the assist.
Now here's Leonard. He has 7. Johnson attacking from the wing. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Caldwell Pope's got 9.
Just the height separation on that mid-range jumper. Excellent job of taking advantage.
They can go 2 for 1.
It's about being smart right now.
Leonard, that's for 2. Again, Leonard missing.
Major defensive lapse right there. I mean, he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You've got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
The three from Mills. And it's Meeks with the rebound.
And he made sure not to just draw the foul. That was good defense out on the perimeter.
Very good. He's a thinking man's defender. Knows how to bother even the best shooters without being overly aggressive.
And here's Mills from the arc. And the basket good. Mills has got 6. And at the end of one, both teams putting up some points. It's Detroit up 3. We'll get right back to the action when we return. Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. And guys, looking at what you've seen so far from the Pistons, what do you think?
It's been about the pace. You can see they're going to try to keep this game in the open floor.
Yeah, and you know, it's been a tempo that they like, and they're getting some easy buckets in transition here.
Jackson and Caldwell Pope the guards. Andre Drummond is out there with Marcus Morris. And it's Harris in at the 3 spot. That's the group for Detroit right now. Jackson with it. He's picked up by Parker. Offensive rebound.
Where's the box out? Some easy second chance opportunities there.
Those kinds of mistakes drive me crazy and will absolutely derail a team's chance to win.
Kept alive. Second shot opportunity. That's tipped. And they'll keep possession. Here's Drummond. And Tim Duncan gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
Here's Drummond. Takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
He is an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
You know, he picks the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
Yeah, and in a close game, though, guys, those could be really important points.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, you know, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul, stopping the layup and not giving up the and one.
Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Detroit. Tolliver comes in for Morris. And San Antonio also making a switch. Ano Ginobili's checked in for Duncan.
It would have been something to see if he could hit that shot from that deep.
Greg, you know it, I know it. There aren't very many guys that can hit from out there. But he is one of them. That's the kind of range he has.
Well, last season, the Pistons didn't reach the playoffs for the 6th consecutive season. They're making progress, but as we can all see, still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you know, they were spoiled for a while there. How about going to the playoffs for 1996 to 2009? So it's been a rough stretch here of late. But you get the feeling that the building blocks are in place for another push.
And I bet most people forget that the Pistons did make the playoffs for 8 straight years before this current drought. It's been a long rebuild process for them recently, but I think they're making progress and moving in the right direction.
Parker gets to Diaw, and he slams it one-handed.
This has been a thriller. You cannot say enough about the way these two teams have competed.
All indications, Greg, are that this game is going down to the wire. I mean, I'd be surprised, actually shocked, if it ended any other way.
And for the Pistons, they seem to have a direction and plan now that just wasn't the case before. It won't be easy to get back into the postseason, but I really feel like they are on the right path.
Johnson, he's checked in for Detroit. Jody Meeks comes in for Caldwell Pope. And San Antonio also making a switch. West is checked in. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Aaron Baines. That's his first foul.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
Yep, they'll be trying to draw that next foul quickly so they can start getting those easy chances at the strike.
The Spurs making a switch here. LaMarcus Aldridge is checked in for Kyle Anderson. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Green. Martin's checked in for Manu Ginobili. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor. Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Jackson, that's good.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Three-pointer, Martin. Another miss by Martin. Pistons trailed by 4. Leonard with the steal. And finished off by Martin.
And that's the kind of play you just do not want to give up defensively. You lose the possession and give up a quick 2 at the other end. That's losing basketball.
Especially when you can't afford to give up any buckets. That's a nice lead now.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here.
And listen, San Antonio is an older team, actually the oldest in the league last season. And because of injuries and days off, they didn't get to feel that preferred starting 5 a lot last year.
Now here's Jackson. Pass to Tolliver. That is good.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
I tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard. They've been the better rebounding team by a healthy margin, but it hasn't been enough.
Yeah, you know, they're hustling and giving a good effort, that's for sure, but unfortunately, the execution has been lacking.
And now here's Johnson, a fast break chance. That one's good. The San Antonio lead is cut down to just 4 points with a bucket from Jackson. Jackson's got 4 points now in the quarter. And Mills kicks it to West. Nice fake with the layup off the mark.
All the defender had to do there was just stay close to him, and he did.
And so it's a close game as we wrap up. Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. On the floor for San Antonio, Manu and Kawhi filling out the perimeter. Aldridge out there with Duncan, and it's Parker in at the 5. Shot is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down to 4 on the bucket for Morris. And plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
And Detroit with a 32-50 record last season. They didn't have any help from the schedule. They had a total of 22 back-to-back series on the year, tied for most in the league.
Rejected by Ginobili. And that one's good. Drummond.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
I tell you what, it reminds me of one of my college coaches. He used to say, that ain't going to get it done. That's 5 straight baskets in the paint now.
Detroit with the ball. Kawhi Leonard getting his 3 to go. Morris, no good. Greg, you just said the Pistons had a ton of back-to-back games. 44 were part of their back-to-backs, over half their schedule. Clark, they went 15 and 29 in those games.
And that's part of the reason why the NBA wanted to examine the schedule. I mean, it was a tough year for the Pistons. It's hard to get any momentum when you're playing that many back-to-backs.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. Just a bit of an up-and-down year for the Pistons last season. Had some long winning streaks and some long losing streaks for first-year head coach Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah, Kevin, some would say it was addition by subtraction because they really went on that big run after they released Josh Smith. 7 straight wins for them at one point, and they also did have some giant losses.
Boris Diaz checked in for Duncan. Pistons trailed by 10. Here's Jackson. And yes, sir, that one drops. Jackson's got 8 points.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here. And, you know, those giant lulls were a big part of the Pistons' season. I mean, their biggest losing streak was 13 straight losses, and a lot of that you attribute to their defense.
And so he hits both.
And the Pistons also went into a slump after they traded for Reggie Jackson. 1-9 after the trade deadline. That they would end the season on a better note, but truly they were streaky last season. And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And, guys, it's not the time for caution now. I mean, they've got to be aggressive and take some risk to see if they can cut that lead down.
And the basket good. And now a 10-point San Antonio lead.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Great ball movement.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over.
Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA.
Detroit making a switch here. Meeks is checked in. And stolen by Aldridge. Ginobili with the 3. Rebound Andre Drummond. Drummond's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Well, with Coach Stan Van Gundy, it was a very successful first year in Detroit. He's a guy who's going to build around defense. That's been his MO.
And Van Gundy has always been a defensive first type guy, Kevin. I mean, the last 30 years, he has probably the best defensive efficiency for a career as a coach. And his teams always play with great emphasis on that side of the ball.
Leonard dishes to Diaz.
You know, there are a lot of bigger power forwards than him in the NBA, but very few that rise up like he can.
Here's Drummond. How's that for an answer? Right back with the dunk.
Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
I like the simplicity.
Well, there's also style just with the fact that he's able to have that kind of a finish, though. Still, I like that pretty one-handed flush.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costly.
Leonard, no luck.
Boy, with an open look like that, he is so gifted. Man, you've got to play better defense. Eventually, he's going to make you pay.
Yeah, you can see he's still in rhythm, even though he misses that one. Almost always deadly when he's that open.
Three-pointer. Good, and Aldridge gets the assist. And that's 15 points for Leonard.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
Yeah, and they either have been unwilling or unable to take that shot away.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
For the Pistons, Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Harris. And it's Johnson in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
How about that? Breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk.
A nice way to pad that lead a little more.
Yes, indeed.
Up high and down hard with the one-hander.
Got a little extra forceful with that one, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I think that's going to rouse up his teammates, no doubt.
Anderson with the block. San Antonio leading by 9. The three from Mills. The offensive rebound. Here's West. Goes back up. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. The Spurs have shot 4 of 7 as a team from the line tonight. Several misses early.
And team free throw numbers really about as good as you could ask for. Around 80% on the season.
Yeah, guys, they can feel very good about themselves when you bring up those statistics. Impressive number. Very nice pickup of the offensive rebound. And once he gets his hands on it, you know it's going back up and back in.
The three from Mills. And that's not going to go. And as well, welcome back as we get set to start the fourth. Pistons trailed by 8. Jackson and Caldwell-Pope, the guards. Marcus Morris is out there with Tobias Harris. And it's Drummond in at the 5 spot. That's the 5 on the floor for the Pistons. Duncan, the pass to West. That's good.
And the deeper we get into this game, it seems like the more the offenses are in rhythm.
Without question. I mean, both of these teams are firing on full broadband bandwidth. I mean, full throttle ahead.
Morris kicks to Harris.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And, Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Well, if the defense keeps giving up easy baskets like that, it won't be a lead for long.
And that one's good.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Mills, that's a 2-pointer. Almost, but it rolls out.
Really quite surprising to see the huge edge they have in rebounds given what the scoreboard said.
Yeah, not typical. They've been dominant on the board, but they are still falling short on the scoreboard.
3 consecutive baskets have come right at the rim. The defense had better start buckling down and tightening up.
Guys, they are getting exposed in terms of their low post defense.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Kevin, Greg Popovich was just going over the plan with his team. His advice clear-cut. I want to see you playing to win, not playing not to lose. I don't care what the lead is. We do not back off.
Thanks, Doris. And taking a quick look here, guys, at the hustle stats for the Spurs.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. They've been in attack mode on the defensive end.
And, guys, the thing that jumps out at me is their block shots. I mean, they're playing up on the shooters tightly, and then they're sending them packing. I mean, putting those shots in reverse, all in a clear, good day.
Oh, wow.
That's a beautiful jam. The Rim Rattler.
Just a remarkable jam. These fans' jaws are on the ground right now.
That's straight up Showtime stuff right there, baby. Major highlight reel material.
Flying high and throwing down the hard one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
And really, he does that one as well as anyone. Kev, you're right. That's like his signature move once he goes airborne.
Kevin, it's disheartening to see them keep missing opportunities to extend the lead at the line. I mean, when you have a chance to put a team away from the line, You want to take advantage of that. You don't want to give them a chance to come back on you.
You have to like what we're seeing so far from Kawhi Leonard.
He's been locked in from deep. They're giving him too much breathing room and definitely paying the price for it.
Pistons trailed by 8. Jackson dishes to Drummond.
Check out the bounce.
Bounce to the ounce. Clark, how about that?
Yeah.
All right,
You
showing
said
him
it,
off
Kevin.
right there. Good move.
You said it, my man. He's a highlight reel waiting to happen. One made three formed for the game. Does he focus closer in? Let's see.
Back to Harris. Morris outside. He's looking for Drummond and finds him. Poked away. Parker passes to Aldridge. Leonard, that's for 2. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
But that would have been lucky had it fallen 4-shot selection.
Yeah, look at the coach's face and the expression. It says all over it. Are you kidding me?
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run, don't you think? Clark with the hoop for him there.
Momentum can swing on plays like that, Kevin, especially when the finish has that much thunder on it.
And you're starting to see some tired legs on those defenders as we come down the stretch here, Clark.
San Antonio leading. Parker kicks to Duncan. And it's sent back by Drummond. To the middle to tie it up. No good. Nice D from Ginobili. For San Antonio, they've gone 5 of 11 from the field in the fourth quarter. Parker's shot is off.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be going.
Hang time on that rim. Puts a little whipped cream on that angel food cake there.
It's a tight ball game, and those displays of strength, Clark, can get one team rolling.
Agreed.
And also the other on its heels. Let's see how this one turns out. Boy, what a pressure bucket that was.
Greg, now that's coming through in the clutch.
It's Drummond with the drive. And that's out of bounds. Detroit will retain possession. Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Caldwell Pope. 41 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Here's Leonard. Yes!
No way to mess that one up, Kevin. I mean, he powered it down with both hands.
Not this guy. He is a superb finisher.
And when he gets near the hoop, guys, he is a tour de force.
Flushes it down to finish the break.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
Poked loose. Duncan dishes to Leonard. To the inside. And he gets it to go. And now an 8-point Spurs lead.
And just a nice bucket there to really just sustain that lead.
Well, a few more possessions like that, and they'll do more than sustain the lead, Greg. I think they'll start to put this thing away by pulling away.
Here's Blake. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
That's his first personal foul.
He drops the first one, and that narrows the gap to 7.
Free throw.
And he makes both free throws. There's 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And he gets it to go.
That's how to orchestrate for your teammate. Terrific pass.
Yeah.